for the last 3 months. I don't think that's a claim. I think we should be saying by stating that they have not been paid for the last 3 months. With majority shareholder David Argyle stepping down, the club are now seeking new ownership and a funding source. It sounds like there's still 3 interested parties with only 2 weeks left to get that sorted. RLPA rep Gareth Carvell described the situation as unacceptable. The GMB union, which underpins the RLPA, has questioned the level of due diligence undertaken when the Wolfpack were granted a licence to play in the British League system by the RFL in 2017. In response, the RFL said it was in dialogue with the club regarding the issues and acknowledged the difficulties Toronto had in having no home games, no access to UK government furlough scheme, or the $16 million hardship loan awarded by the awarded to the governing body. In adding in its statement, although this is not an insolvency event, the RFL has applied the usual procedures and dispensations as if it were. This includes all players who would count as being quota or non-federation trained players being given dispensation to be exempt for the duration of their existing contract with Toronto. We have also provided dispensation to Toronto's overseas players to take up opportunities in Australia. The RFL has been working closely with Rugby League Cares, who deliver welfare services on behalf of the RFL and the sport, and have been in contact with all Toronto Wolfpack players and staff to offer mental health, welfare and support. Just on that final point, are the RFL lying or are the players lying? Because the RFL have been saying for a couple of weeks now that they've been making mental health welfare support available to the Toronto Wolfpack players. Is it that they've got the wrong email addresses, they've got the wrong phone numbers, or is it that the players aren't responding to the support that is there because the support they want is money? I don't understand. Like, who's lying there? I don't understand.
I'm going to hope that it's a communication breakdown.
Yeah.
To receive a message, you have to be in a position to want to receive it. And maybe they're not in a position to want to hear that, or maybe the RFL is trying a wrong telephone number. All those things are possible. I would hope that it's a communication breakdown.
Yeah, because some support does need to be given to these players. There's talk about like care packages being put together by, I think, St Helens and some of the other Super League clubs will be doing it as well for the players. And obviously a few of the players have sorted out their short-term futures as well, which is really good. I'm sure the RFL should be able to find some sort of way of supporting some part of the Wolfpack or its players in terms of getting money to those players. But it all comes back to me to how can a billionaire not have found a way to pay these people? And I get when people say that billionaires don't just have cash sitting around. I get that, right? But what they've got is assets, right? And 5 months ago, David Argyle could have sold some of his assets to make sure he could pay his players, right? Because he knew this wasn't ending anytime soon, yeah? But he didn't, because he didn't want to. He chose not to. This is on him now, this not paying the wages thing. I get all the shit that's meant the club's wider issues that the club has had. Totally get all that. But he doesn't want to use his money or his assets to pay these people. That is the pure facts of this, and if he did want to, he wouldn't be walking away. And I'm sorry, but what the fucking point of having all that money for if you don't want to be a decent person about it? It frustrates me when rich people just want to stay rich. Really does. I'm not saying go broke, I'm saying be a bit more kind with all your fucking money, you rich person.
Hashtag Mark Brown.
Oh, it just winds me up. What's the point of that? No. When he fucking dies, this money is going to be worthless to him. Wouldn't he rather have a reputation than a few extra £1,000? Anyway, whatever. I don't know. Baffles me. Why isn't he off? If he can't, do you know what? If these assets are so difficult to unload, yeah, why doesn't he say to the players, I will transfer ownership of shares in this company to you, so you've got the money, so you've got the wealth from that asset. You can try and sell it if you like, or you can hold on to it as an investment or whatever. Why doesn't he do that? There's plenty of options, Mr. Moneybags. Plenty of options.
Well, the unspoken one is that actually, maybe much like Richard Branson, he's not as rich as he says he is. And
well, we've had that before in Rugby League, haven't we?
Yeah, exactly. So somebody who it's very, you can be rich on paper, but not in pocket, and maybe that's his situation. Maybe he's all tied up in things that were before pandemic worth so much, and they're now not worth so much. Who knows? I'm not going to get into
the food's not getting to David Argyle's. The food is still getting to David Argyle's table. Alan.
Yeah, I'm sure it is.
He doesn't need St Helens players to drop round a care package with a few steaks in it and stuff for the family to be able to eat this week.
No.
And once you get to this stage, I can understand the frustration and desperation and difficulty for the players, because I've been thinking like, well, I probably have enough, put aside to probably last 3-4 months if one of us lost our job. But once you get to that 3-4 month stage, that's when you start to be struggling and worrying. And
yeah, of course.
And these players technically have jobs. They have contracts still, technically. So they've every right to expect to be getting paid something.
Yes.
Even if he doesn't pay them in full. Anyway.
Yeah.
He's got a squad of, 22 players? Not anymore. It's probably down to about 16 on the books for the 2020 season, isn't it? Right? So if he gave all of those £3,000, are you saying he can't find that money? That'd be £1,000 per month. That'd get them through probably at least, given the fact that these people in families, probably their partners work. We're not, these players aren't millionaires. They're not football players. They don't have trophy wives. They're, the real people. You're saying he can't find, £60,000, £70,000?
It raises questions that the obvious answer to that is that he doesn't want to.
Yeah, he doesn't want
to find it.
No.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Shall we move on?
Yeah. Like the Wolfpack hopefully will be doing soon, and finding someone who wants to run it in a more sustainable way.
Yeah.
Okay, that is news completed. Sorry, I got a bit ranty there. I didn't mean to.
A little bit. Just a tad.
But no. Just
it's frustration. It's frustrating.
All the money in this world, and the width of inequality is just crazy. Anyway, news is finished. Rant is finished. We're now going to move on to Super League match reviews, round 9. Super League match reviews time. Then I've recovered from my sort of unanticipated Mark rant, and we're now going to talk about the good stuff that is the game of Rugby League. So, bit of a rejig around. The first game of round 9 was actually a game from round 2, and it was Wakefield versus Catalans on Saturday afternoon from the Totally Wicked Stadium. It was 24-0 to Catalans at half time. There was talk of can they repeat that in the second half. They did more than that. They won 58-0. Chris Kendall was the referee.
Certainly was. So, as you might expect, Catalan made over 600 more metres at 2.9 metres per carry, better average gain than Wakefield. 9 more breaks and a better tackle success rate. Score could have been even higher if Catalan hadn't been credited with 23 handling errors, which was 11 more than Wakefield, who had under 1,000 metres and below 6 metres per carry. Those are all worrying numbers for Trinity. For the victorious Catalan, Samisoni Langi with 2 tries, a try assist, 5 tackle busts, 152 metres and 2 clean breaks. Matt Whitley with 3 tries, a try assist, 5 tackle busts, 116 metres and 3 clean breaks. Tom Davies with his first career hat-trick.
Yeah.
I think I heard that, which is surprising me a bit. 198 metres and 4 clean breaks. And Sam Tompkins with a try assist, 141 metres, 2 clean breaks of his own and 3 offloads. As you'd expect for Trin, not much to shout about. David Fafita with 119 metres and Craig Kopjak with 112 metres.
St David said, great performance by Catalan. Wakey were poor before their injuries then got worse. Tompkins was brilliant, trip aside. Macalorum is still a shithouse. Shithouse that Barry Mack fucking loves. Like how much I love Liam Farrell, Barry Mack loves Mickey Mack, doesn't he?
No one could love a player like that much. Tom Andrews says, it's rare I'm entertained by Catalan and their merry band of Maison de Merde, but they played like that. Did you get that? Maison de Merde?
I've caught up with that, yeah.
Yeah, cool. Nice one. But they played some attractive rugby. And Wakefield, well, less said about them the better. Man of the match goes to the glorious Hull KR flags in the stands for whatever reason.
I guess, was it like a sort of nod to them that we're sorry you're not here again, guys?
That's what I thought it was to start with. I thought they'd be leaving him up all the time, but I think it was just it was a good old fashioned cock up, and there should have been other ones.
I think Wakefield haven't got big flags created because they didn't have any. I don't remember the week before either. So I just think other clubs are sort of getting in there. Because technically Wigan were the away side last week, but Wigan had their flags up.
Okay.
Flags up. So I think where teams haven't got them, and I think Wakefield and Catalans both don't have them, other teams are jumping in. And I think everyone was like, let's do Hull KR a favour, no one's going to see them all month. Mark W. said, a moral victory for Wakefield, who committed to their principles of keeping politics out of sport by ignoring both the left and the right wingers of their opponents in equal measure.
Fan view of the week, that one. Early call, but I'm calling it now. David Hunter says, seems like the first week back was just a warm-up for Catalan. Wakey were awful, but Catalan outstanding. In the NRL, we have an unofficial rule that teams that concede 50 can't win the comp. Wakey aren't going to go close anyway.
There's absolutely no worries, I think, on this evidence. In terms of, there was some disciplinary stuff to come out of this game. We'll cover that first. So Sam Tompkins can't fucking help himself, can he? Another trip, another one-game ban for him, so he misses out in the revenge game next week in the Cup. Sam Moore got a grade C high tackle as well, 2 games. That was right at the end of the game. I was trying to think when was that, but it was right at the end of the game on Romain Navarrete, who, to be fair, took a bit of a battering in this game, and credit to him for fronting up so frequently to get physically dominated by all of the Catalans players constantly. And Reece Lynn got a grade C dangerous contact charge as well, so that's 2 games for Reece Lynn. I don't think Wakefield really can't afford a suspension at this stage. They lost 4 players due to injury, didn't they, in this game, which was part of the story of the game, but not all of the story. On the disciplinary stuff as well, Max Whiteley from the Catalans Dragons was cited for something, but they decided not to take it any further, mainly because they don't fucking know his name. Unbelievable. Man of Steel points. Sam Tompkins got 3, Tom Davies got 2, Sammy Soni Lange got 1, and then in the Albert Goldfoot points, Sam Tompkins got 3, Sammy Soni Lange got 2, and Josh Drinkwater got 1. So a little bit spread around there, but it's Tompkins and Lange are the 2 obvious names, aren't they, when we talk about our star players? You can't overlook Max Whiteley or Davies, of course, with their hat-tricks. And credit to David Mead, I thought, on his return from a lengthy absence. He was pretty good, and he's bound to have to play fullback next week with, you assume, Falau coming back into the centres after the birth of his child this weekend. I really hope he's gay. I don't care what people grow up to be, how they are, but I just hope he has a homosexual son so he can then realise how hurtful his words have been. But anyway, but yeah, back to the game. David Mead, I thought, coming back in, he's played a bit of centre, but really is a fullback or a winger, isn't he? And he was really good. It didn't hurt that Wakefield was so bad. And obviously Sam Tompkins was absolutely outstanding. His stats don't quite tell just how important he was, because he only got 1 try assist, which was the long cut-out pass for Davies' first try, I think. But every single play every single try play he was involved in pretty much in this game